So I want to tell you a little bit about the history of the place. And we're going to start way over before 1969, 1950s, when the president of that time, Anastasio Somoza, decided to take advantage of what was happening between the United States and Cuba. And the president decided to land grab, to steal farmers' lands, and for trying to grow more sugarcane and cotton for selling it for Nicaragua, for United States. So what happened with farmers is like they were promised more lands. So they could take as many lands as they wanted from the Caribbean region, just because, as you can see, there was plenty of forest. So no one was really using that land. As a fun fact, there are indigenous communities all in the Caribbean coast. So as we can see, we will focus mainly on the green patches, which are the forests, and we can see how the deforestation is being increasing all the years. I just want to give us a fun fact that in the 1980s, between the 70s and 80s, there was like a civil war in Nicaragua, which stopped in 1990, actually with the creation of national parks. And now it's increasing a lot, but something that is happening also, like the president that it's right now, it started in 2010, 2007, and there's a big struggle between the government and the civil community, starting in 2018 up to date. So I am also kind of curious if that it's affecting or not the deforestation rates in the area. But that time, in between the 1990 and 2000, the deforestation rate in Nicaragua was 3%. So we can have that in mind. I chose the place that I'm going to study because I overlap the protected areas in Nicaragua with the deforestation rate gave by Global Forest Watch in a timeline of 10 years, of 8 years. And we saw that there was this region in particular, they had around 18% of deforestation in less than 10 years. So I was very concerned, and I decided to choose Indio Maiz Biological Reserve as my study point. And as I did some other studies before I came here, I found possible drivers. I'm not 100% sure if they are, but I found like several economic activities and other situations, social situations that they were happening around the biological reserve, which are, like cattle ranching, deforestation, oil palm plantations. Thanks to oil palm plantations and the Nicaragua Interoceanic Canal, people were also displaced, so they need to find new place to live. And 2016 and 17, it started like a big craziness about like to start doing gold mining around the protected area. And for sure, we have seen some fires and hurricanes that they are affecting. So I wanted to know if which one of these will be a main driver of deforestation. And also like to know if the protected area was truly protected, and if people was still continuing protecting the area, like people who live around it. So for identifying the status of the Indio Maiz Biological Reserve in Nicaragua, I compared the protected area with non-protected area. And for doing that, I couldn't compare it with the entire country. So I chose a 10-kilometer buffer to compare it in order to have a better sense of what is happening. And for that, I had to create a land use map in Indio Maiz Biological Reserve by 2020, which, as a fun fact, it's a rainforest. It's cloudy all the time. So it was very, very hard to create. Also, when I made this, I create a land use change map between 2010, 2015, and 2020. And when I have all the maps, I could extract the deforestation rates and fragmentation index. And with the also with the land use map, I could try to identify the possible drivers of deforestation in the protected areas.